Hey, what's up, guys? We're back. We got a video. It's from like this. I think it's like an Indian channel, 13 canal. It says "Glory to Ukraine." Footage of foreigners fighting within Ukrainian army on Russian territory. So I thought this would be cool. It's a shorter video. It's like 10 minutes. So real quick, my name is Saxon. I go by Vegas here in Ukraine. I joined the International Legion for the Defense of Ukraine in January of 2023. I'm still here in Ukraine. I'm no longer with the Legion. I'm now with Azov, specifically Azov's International Battalion. We just got off of a deployment not too long ago, and it was very successful. Yes, we will have footage of that coming out probably on the Azov main channel. Very proud of the guys and very grateful things went the way that they did, and also grateful that this unit's becoming the reliable, safer option for foreigners to come join, right? Now you don't have to join the Legion like when I joined. There's other options. So check us out. The link's in the description below. That's my referral link. So if you click that, it'll take you to the application. Once you fill out the application, it'll say that you came from me. You know me, right? So we have a kind of a general idea of where people are coming from, who you know, that kind of stuff. All right, we'll jump into this. I'll stop talking. Also, nice to see Trump starting to flip back to pro-Ukraine side, huh? That's a delight to see. And I sound sarcastic, but I'm being serious. That's awesome. That could be huge for us.
A video has been shared in a Telegram app, capturing foreign fighters deployed in Russia's Kursk region within the Ukrainian army. The volunteers are fighting within the 47th Mechanized Brigade that is made up mostly of Colombians, but also includes volunteers from Peru, Brazil, Zimbabwe, Italy, and Mexico. The video shows the fighters gathered in a forest lane.
Interesting. So we've talked about this a little bit. There are a lot of South American foreign fighters. And they come from a multitude of reasons, and some come for money, some come for experience to take back home, and I do believe that some come to help Ukraine. Right? I choose to believe that's the majority of them that come, but it is a different headspace, because when you have Americans or Brits that come here to help, they're not coming for the money, because the ratio, the dollar to the hryvnia ratio is very low. They will be making very little money compared to whatever they did back in the US or the UK. Here, if you're coming from Colombia, that has a very low monetary, their current money's very, very, very low. They're making more money here, right? And they're gaining experience. So some people come for different reasons, but regardless, for me, if these guys come and they do good work and they've got my back, I've got their back. I don't care if they're black, yellow, purple, they speak Spanish, Ukrainian, or English.
Chanting slogan, "Glory to Ukraine." They are also seen chanting words in Spanish. According to information posted on a Ukrainian Telegram channel, soldiers within the 47th Mechanized Brigade are trained from scratch and used in Ukrainian army's both offensive and defensive operations. Some foreign fighters, especially those from Colombia, have been transferred to the 47th Brigade from other units. The work of the Colombian assault troops is showing strong results and is making a significant impact on the battlefield. They've already seen combat against Russia's elite brigades and North Korean special forces in the Kursk region. The Telegram channel quoted the commanders of the Colombian assault company as saying, "It should be noted that up to 30,000 foreign fighters have joined Ukraine's war against Russian invasion since 2022. Ukraine set up the Ukrainian Foreign Legion, a military unit of the Ukrainian ground forces, composed of foreign volunteers in February 2022.
Cuando pretenda sentir temor, la furia invade mi cuerpo. Despertando en mi alma verde. El guerrero que llevo dentro. Guerrero siempre guerrero. No le importa si es difícil. O si tal vez hay fatiga. Casi todo cuesta arriba.
That I don't know what chant that was or what. If I have any Spanish speaking viewers, let me know what that was. What I don't know. There's multiple different kind of prayers or chants or monologues that different Ukrainian units will say. So that's interesting. He mentioned the good work of the Colombian soldiers, and I don't want to take anything away from them because they are obviously are doing some good work. I will say that the Colombians are being hemorrhaged as far as KIA. They are. I follow a couple of Telegram channels that will show confirmed KIAs in the country of foreigners, and every single day it's just lists of Colombians, and then American, British, Irish, occasionally, and then list of Colombian, so they are absolutely losing guys. In this video, obviously they're doing some good work, but just put that out there.
The former so-called People's Governor of Donbass and one of the most prominent ideologists of aggression against Ukraine, Pavel Gubarev, gave a very frank interview to the Z channel when the guns began to sing. The one who has been promoting the ideas of the Russian world since 2014 now openly stated, "The war started by Russia was a mistake from the very beginning. I now believe that the way the war against Ukraine, started, went on, and is going on. It would have been better not to start it at all, of course. Nothing is changing for us. We are defeated in the meat assaults, advancing, and so we continue. Now we have Sumy, this long-suffering Volchansk, Pokrovskoy. Everywhere they are pushing. Come on, forward. But no one has any strength left. We have an army that is frankly serfdom. The guys are exhausted. You come, and it is impossible to leave," said Gubarev. His words are not just doubtful, but an open accusation of betrayal against the authorities. The Z Patriot says he understood this at the very beginning of the invasion. 2 weeks after the start, I already began to think that this was a large-scale betrayal. The beginning of the SVO is also a betrayal. It looked like we were going to the slaughter. We did not reach any Kiev. The enemy showed malicious resistance, inflicted huge losses on us, he said. According to him, Russian elite units, including paratroopers and special forces, were virtually destroyed in the first months of the war. The elite personnel units, paratroopers, GRU men, who advanced there, they lost up to half of their personnel, killed and wounded. They were the elite of elite troops. Those who started SVO with such a plan are crazy. We thought that they should know better in the offices, but they are no better, stated Gubarev. He admits that the war dragged on for years and no real goals were achieved. According to Gubarev, the initial hope for a quick victory quickly crumbled. There was hope that SVO could end with something good. Otherwise, I would not have gone there. But it quickly became clear that this is a long story, a difficult confrontation. The enemy is charged, motivated. We attacked. They are defending themselves. They are having a people's war there, the Z Patriot said bitterly. He also openly names the monstrous losses at the front. In the Sumy direction, we had 1,000 to 1,500 people die. When we are advancing, we have thousands killed per day. When in the position, hundreds. Damn, 3.5 years. And I claim that there are over 1 million victims, killed, missing, and maimed. And how many cities we have taken. It's ridiculous. This is a defeat. It is not clear how to get out of this story. Save face. We got into this conflict, and there is no way to get out. Stuck in a black hole. Darkness all around, Gubarev said.
Hey, I like that. I like that this guy has owned up to them basically taking a defeat. Even if Russia is still taking kilometers of land slowly, but they're advancing, no matter what, the amount of personnel, vehicles, pride, ego that has been just completely annihilated from that Ukraine annihilated from the Russians counts as a Russian defeat. Russia's been embarrassed on a global scale. They tried to do a full-scale invasion on their sister nation and were stopped dead in their tracks. And the sister nation that's a fraction of Russia's size, right? They were stopped. Not only were they stopped, the Ukrainians took some of Russia's actual territory, which hasn't happened since the Nazis invaded. So no matter what way, any way you slice this pie or cut this cake, the Russians have taken a huge loss here. And it's only made the Ukrainians stronger, and their respect amongst global allies stronger as well.
Soldiers of one of the units of the Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine carried out a lightning attack on the positions of Russian occupiers in the area of the Ukrainian-Russian border. The enemy suffered significant damage. Footage of the command operation was published on the official channel of the Special Forces. The Special Forces group entered the enemy's rear, quietly overcoming difficult weather and tactical conditions. The border, rain and enemy concentrations are not obstacles, but normal working conditions for operators of the Special Operations Forces.
They're actually ideal. They're ideal operating conditions. When it's stormy and it's raining and it's windy, there's less of a drone threat, which means there's less of a chance the surveillance drones will see your team infilling. There's less of a chance the FPVs will come hit you. Also, when it's rainy and wet and windy, it's easier to creep, right? It's easier to sneak up on the target, move through. Look at the leaves down here, right? When it's all dry and it's sunny outside, you take one step and they hear you from a kilometer away, right? That's an exaggeration, but you understand what I'm saying. When it's all wet and damp, they don't hear shit. Maybe it's thundering, it's windy, you can't hear anything, and then these guys come up like the Grim Reaper.
Of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the military said in a publication. The operation was carried out quickly and accurately. Ukrainian soldiers engaged the enemy in firefights, eliminated at least 2 Russian soldiers, and captured trophies. Thanks to their high level of training and coordinated actions, all participants in the operation returned without losses. Special Operations Forces soldiers are working non-stop in the hottest areas of the front and behind the line of combat contact, inflicting devastating blows on the enemy, the Special Operations Forces added. According to them, such raids deep behind enemy lines allow not only to inflict damage, but also to collect valuable data and experience for future operations. Such actions by Ukrainian special forces undermine the morale of Russian units and demonstrate vulnerability even in areas where Moscow considers itself safe. Constant pressure from mobile and professional Ukrainian units makes it impossible for the enemy to take a breather, even in the rear. Earlier, media reported that Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine ambushed the occupiers in Sumy region. The enemy sabotage and reconnaissance group was defeated and the occupier was captured. The servicemen of the 6th Special Operations Regiment, Ranger, set up an ambush, during which they eliminated a group of Russian saboteurs. As a result of a short but fierce battle, all the opponents were destroyed and one of the enemy soldiers was taken prisoner. The published report says Special Operations Forces fighters set up an ambush on the border. As a result of a fierce battle, the group was destroyed. One Russian soldier was taken prisoner. Now, he thanks the Ukrainian Special Forces for staying alive, the military reported. Russian occupiers regularly attempt to penetrate the border or front line into the rear of the Ukrainian defense forces, attempting to conduct reconnaissance in force or destabilize the situation. The Ukrainian defense forces harshly suppress such actions.
Couple things I want to mention here. This is cool, man. I think these guys, specifically like the Ukrainian Special Forces units, these guys right here are one of the most valuable soldiers on earth right now. They have practical experience fighting a near peer-to-peer war. And they're effective at it. They know what works, they know what doesn't work, they know how to counter drones, they know how to do all of this stuff. The American military is extremely well trained, well funded, and they can take a lot of notes and learn from this conflict, which I'm hoping they are. But no matter what, they don't have the boots on the ground experience like these guys do fighting, which makes these specific soldiers so valuable, in my opinion. Also, two more things. So they said on that first movement that they were making, they cleared out 2 Russians, and I saw this a lot on our deployment. The Russians will put like 1 or 2 people in a position, and then 1 or 2 or even 3 kilometers down the line, they'll have another 1 or 2 Russians in a position. They're extremely spread out, right? So when you've got a group of pipe hitters like these dudes roll up, typically they'll just surrender if they even get the chance, or these guys will just smoke them. But from my experience, they always ask, surrender, put your weapons down, and if they don't, they'll remove the threat. But lastly, thermal optics. Thermals are mandatory, in my opinion, in defensive operations. When you're on post or you're on stag and you're watching across the line, you're watching a position, thermal. You need thermal. If you're on an assault, you have a thermal optic, that gives you advantage over the enemy. And if there's an enemy like a machine gun nest and you're trying to assault it, you are at a disadvantage because they'll most likely see you first, they'll hear you first, right? If you have a thermal, you can even those odds, if not gain an upper hand, because you can see them further away, you can see their silhouette, their outline, and before you end up getting close enough to where they hear and see you, and then they open up and they hit 1 or 2 of your guys before you can remove the machine gun or whoever the threat is, right? So thermal's crucial, in my opinion, on your rifle if you're assaulting. Ideally, always on your rifle, whether you're defending or assaulting. But if you are just in a defensive position, like on a trench, you could have one of those little handheld monoculars, thermals, peer across. That'll at least give you an idea if you're getting pushed or somebody's creeping on you. But then if you try to shoot them, then you got to drop that, pull up your rifle. It's still pitch black, right? So anyways, that was cool. Interesting video. Link canal channel in the description below. If you're coming out to Ukraine, join a solid unit. Hit us up at Azov. Don't go join the first unit you see or jump straight into the Legion and get meat waved your first week in country, okay? I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.